Good afternoon, anyone that's joining us here. I'm Kirsty McGregor-Burns, and I'm excited to be back on the StreamYard with everyone. So I'm just waiting to see who comes in. That would be awesome. As I said, I'm Kirsty McGregor-Burns, spiritual medium and mentor. You can follow me on social media, on my Instagram page or on my Facebook page with the exact same name. Apologies, I've come in here this afternoon looking a wee bit kind of ragged around the edges. Was doing some housework and trying to get ready for here as well. So the no filter with the makeup thing. But that's not what we're here for anyway. We're here to communicate with our loved ones. So it would be lovely to speak to you all, see you all here. I'm just waiting on people joining to see who we've got this afternoon. And then I can start saying hi to everyone because I don't see anyone here just yet. Thanks, Des. Hi, Tanita. I'll just wait till more people come in. Thank you so much for joining me here. I'm all right, thank you. Just a wee bit ragged by running about housework and trying to get myself organised. But other than that, I'm fine. Thanks for asking. Hi, Christine. How are you? Hope you're well. It's lovely to see you here. I don't really like sitting quiet at the other side of the camera, but it's a wee bit having to wait for people to come in. There's nothing else we can do about that. So I'll just wait till more people build up, because one of you will stand out and then we can just go along with that. That's great, Christine. Thank you for choosing to join us here. Hi, Debbie. Lovely to have you here. I hope you're well and I hope your weather's better than ours. I'm in Scotland, as you can probably tell by the accent. The weather's absolutely appalling at the moment. It doesn't know what it wants to do. So it's lovely to have people joining us. I'll just wait till more. As you know, or I don't know if you know, as a medium, spirit choose when they want to connect with me, and they will go along with that. I would ask, only thing I ask as myself and how I work is don't tell me anything. I can't force any connections. All I need from you is validation. So if I choose to connect to you, it's just a yes, I know, and I don't know kind of thing. All right? But please be aware that anyone can come through from the spirit world and that I'm not in control of that. I am just here as a conduit between both, and that's what I do. Someone's come in Facebook user, that won't draw me in. I don't know. If you can come in as another name, that would be great. Hi, Christine, and better weather here. Yeah, all right. Hi, Tracy. Hello. I hope you are well, lovely lady. It's lovely to have you here. Hi, Michelle. Oh, we're all jumping up now. Okay, all right. Christine, can I work with you, please? I've just I felt as if I need to keep going back to you there. Hi, Lorraine. Hi, Ashley. Right, let me see here. Christine Marius. If I'm pronouncing that wrong, my apologies. If it's all right to work with you, please, Christine, that would be great. And just before you come on, just to let people know, I do have my Facebook page and my Instagram page if anybody is interested in popping on there. All right, but it's an honour to be here, and thank you for your trust. Just keep sending all your love, and we'll see what happens. All right, Christine. So again, just the yes, nos, and don't knows. That's all. And let me do the work, because that's what a medium's supposed to do. So first off, I want to say to you, I had a gentleman that came forward there from Spirit. Now, this gentleman feels very fatherly to me. So if you understand father in spirit, and also that you would look like father in spirit as well. Um, Pardon me, he says there might be a difference around the eyes, or a slight difference around the eyes with you both, if you understand this. And I know this gentleman, as he steps forward from the world of spirit, makes me feel like he would be, and I'll keep going until I can see your comment as well. It seems to be going really, really slow, and my mediumship goes the opposite direction from that. I know as this gentleman comes forward as well, that he's making me feel that when I'm looking at you, I'm looking at him, but I don't know if he's of different eye colour, and this is what he's mentioning to me here as well. Okay, now I know this gentleman as well, that he would wear a blazer jacket. I feel like I've got like a jumper thing, or it's like it might be a long sleeve polo shirt or something that resembles a jumper with like a collar on it. But I feel like I want to say he would wear like a dress jacket over this, and hands in the pocket with the jacket's buttoned at the front too. I feel like your father would wear a scarf on these days as well, but it's just a plain colour. There is no patterns in that too. All right. Now he says someone knitted that scarf for him, but I don't know if you would have knitted the scarf, but that is just what he just said to me. And to me, it's almost like I want to look at like a dark forest green type scarf with like a kind of cable knit type through it, if you understand this, that he's wearing. And he's literally put it on and just kind of thrown it over his neck like this, if you understand him doing that. Okay. I know this gentleman, as he comes forward here as well. If you just say yes, no, and don't know, Christine, that would be great. But as he just comes forward here, he's just he comes forward, and it's almost like he's got his hands in the front of his jacket. He's put them in the front of his jacket here, all right. And I know as he's coming in here, this is the way he would stand when he's speaking to you, and the way he wants to come forward as well. Okay. I feel as well that he's talking here to me as well about the 20th of a month. I do feel I want to mention November. Not sure if that's the month that he is mentioning, but this the 20th of the November month. But this is what he's just said to me, that I need to make note of that as well. Now he's asking about as well, I don't know if that's the date, but he's asking as well about the birthday. He's asking why this birthday is not celebrated anymore, or why you're not celebrating your birthday, if you can understand this, because I feel like your father would come forward here with some. November's his anniversary. Okay, thank you for that. I feel that as if he's coming forward and he's talking here to me about I think it's like your own birthday, like you're not doing anything for it, or you're not really celebrating it in some way, and he's asking why are you not doing that, and you have to celebrate yourself. And this is a gentleman absolutely knew how to celebrate himself also. He would treat himself. He knows he would go, and he's talking to me here about where he would go into, it's like, I'm going into like some cafe with a wooden table he's going to, and he's saying to me here, even if he was treating himself to a cake and a big mug of coffee or tea, or I feel as if I want to talk about coffee in particular, but I think he would have drank both. But he's saying that's like a treat, that he would sit and have that treat as well. Okay, so it's important for you to celebrate your birthday, even though that you're not been doing that. But he's asking why not, all right? Because he wants to come with you to do these things. Now, would you have a link? I don't know where you're located or whatever, but you must live in an area where there's lots of like farmland, or there's lots of kind of scenic nature type settings going on. Would that make sense to you? And I don't know. I know that this gentleman wants to bring me in connections to Yorkshire. That's the way that he's kind of given that to me there as well. So I don't know if I'm crossing over both things here, but I know when he's taking me there too, you would understand where he's talking about this place where there was I don't know, it's like the Dales or whatever, but there's a place where it's like a really small cafe with stone floors, and I want to go in. It's really quaint, so I feel it's like in an older building and it's been transformed into a cafe. your son's in Yorkshire, okay? So there's this older building. It's been transformed into a cafe. I don't know if it was like an old church, but it's got the wooden benches inside it. It's quite small, but it does quite decadent things as well in it. So I don't know if you know that your son goes to somewhere like this, but your father is telling you we're going to get together and we are going to start celebrating as well. All right. So there is somewhere. That's great. There is somewhere. When I'm saying quaint, it was like there's a bit of like cultures, a bit of history in this building that he's shown to me here, and he's shown me one in particular that I've been to. So I know what he's talking about. It's like the wee sign would be outside, and you go, it's really old brickwork. It would remind you of like an old church. And then when you go in there, like they do like your vegan choices and different things like that as well. But again, really, really small. He said dogs are allowed. That's important for him too. I don't know who's got the brown chocolate coloured dog, but he's saying dogs are allowed. So we have to take the dog as well. Does that make sense to you, Christine? Um, I know as well that with your father here, as he comes in, he's a gentleman, and he's telling me that he had many books, but he didn't get round to reading them all. I feel like he would have opened up some and then he would have put them away. But there's a lot of like, and I want to say it's about history and things like that in them, and about he's talking as well that he must have had an interest as well about the Knights Templar or something to do with that, because I know that he's talking about some sort of book, and there would be quite a bit of interest in that kind of side of things with your father. I would say this gentleman had a lot of knowledge. He would be great at sitting in a pub quiz for the random questions that's given. But I don't feel that he ever really applied that knowledge in one place in particular, but he really did. And he's telling me like he liked like a countdown show and things like that as well, that he would sit in front of as well. Okay, but I feel that yes, he did come forward there just to kind of get you together and kind of encourage you to start celebrate the birthday, get to that cafe, take the dog with you, and we will have a fabulous time there. He said as well. Okay. Um, yeah, that's what he says to me. He's really a good speaker, I've got to say, with your father. And I do feel as well it's an honour to speak with him, because he's making me feel this gentleman wouldn't connect to just anyone. I feel that he would want his information. Um, and this is direct from him. This isn't me saying about me, but I feel like it's almost this gentleman. It's the way that he wants to connect. He needs the right person to give that information properly. Because I feel as if he picks parts of my brain here that when I'm trying to pass these messages on as well. So that's how he gives that to me there as well. Okay. Um, what was he saying to me there as well? Um, I don't know if you understand the Tammy hat, but he just said he's got his Tammy, and that's what he says to me there as well. Okay. And then I'm going to just leave you your father's love and say thank you so much, but please make sure that Knights Temple interest me. That's great. Your interest being influenced by his presence. Well, he's very, very, very present. I can tell you. I don't know what part of the world you're in, but he's right here speaking to me at the moment. So, please enjoy his presence, and I hope you can feel him around you. He tells me you smell him around, his own smell. But he's got his scarf on. All right, he's got his scarf on. Okay. Ah, he was a Scot. Very good. Okay. You must have links though, but to England as well, because I was kind of reluctant there with him. So I don't know if he lived apart there and then here or something like that, but that's how that come in. So thank you, Christine, again. That was awesome to be able to work with your lovely daddy. Who's next? All right, please be aware again, as a medium, I don't choose who I connect with. I just connect with them and bring your loved ones forward, okay? If you are here and you would like a message, please just put like a heart, a symbol, a hi, or something into the comments, and they'll just all keep coming up, and I'll be able to pick someone from there, okay? And that would be great. Please remember that you can follow me on Facebook, Kirsty McGregor-Burns Spiritual Medium, and also on Instagram, Kirsty McGregor-Burns Spiritual Medium and Mentor. So it would be lovely to connect with you and hear from you and interact with you there as well. Also, don't forget to keep supporting Veronica on StreamYard. A lovely lady I have a lot of time for, and it's an honour to be here helping her out as well as yourselves. Okay, Carolyn Thomas, can I please work with you? And just as I want to work with you, Carolyn, you'll see my face feels as if it's changing. I feel as if, I don't mean like, look, my face is changing. I just can feel it. So I'm feeling the presence of spirit, but I'm feeling the presence of a lady stepping forward to be able to communicate with you, Carolyn. I hope I'm pronouncing your name right. And if I'm not pronouncing anyone's name right, I do apologise. I'm neurodiverse as well. That means ADHD, autistic traits, and dyslexia. Apparently, this is a new thing that's just been found at 45 years old. So if it's all right to work with you, please, that would be great. So I feel as if I have this lady that steps forward from the world of spirit. I'm not really sure how she's feeling to me to connect with you at the moment. I'm not sure if she's your mum or she's just got that kind of feeling about her, connections there. Bear with me a moment. But I know as I wanted to work with you there, I felt almost like my face was getting drawn in. So I know this lady's got quite a sharp kind of look about her cheekbones, and she's telling me I've got good cheekbones. But I know that I love when they speak to me like this. But I know that she's got quite like a sharp cheekbone. I know her face would come in smaller than mine here too. And I know as this lady steps forward from spirit, it was almost like she wanted me to speak clearer when I'm speaking also. So I know that she's a good talker. She's a very nice speaker. She's a lovely way about her. Okay. I know as this lady came forward there as well that she's talking about. I know that this side of life, this lady lets me know that she could sometimes be quite a hard critic maybe at times with yourself. I would say with family members too. I think she was known quite for having quite a sharp tongue at the same time too. Now, I know that the way that I'm portraying this lady just doesn't sound all that great at the moment, but I'm only building her up. And I know that she has got a softer side in there. I know she has a good sense of humour as well, but I'm just picking up what she's given to me at the moment, okay? I know as this lady steps forward as well that she's making me feel like everything with her had to be perfect, very, very perfect. I'm pulling in my waist here. I am smoothing down all of my clothes. She shows me almost like she's got on it's a longer skirt, but it's like pleated, and there's a belt around that as well. I feel like I've got like my blouse tucked in. I know she would have liked a high collar like this one, okay, because I know she's just playing about here in mine, although that wouldn't be like this. It would be more fastened here. I know that she's got this, and I know that when she wants to speak to me here as well, that she's telling me where that she would have to be, like she is sharp as a tack, as we call it, okay. And I know with her though that she could be quite judgmental in some situations, okay. But I know with this lady as well, there's a bit of a kind of marmite effect with her too. And there's times where we absolutely love, like yourself, love spending time with her. And then there's other times where it would just be quite difficult, you know. And I think you would either get her like one or the other kind of way, all right. I feel also that this lady would talk about where in her life that she's speaking here about. I don't know if you know about the deep sadness. She's talking about something to do with the babies that would have been lost due before birth and things like that as well. But this is how this is coming across. There was a lot of loss for her here as well that she's letting me know about. But there has to be like a number of this situation happening as well, because she's talking about having all the babies with her now in spirit as well. Okay, but this was a thing that would have lain heavy on her chest and heavy on her heart. All right. And I feel like this lady would have just had so much emotional pain from life that she would have held a lot of that inside her, but it wasn't meant to come out on anyone else either. This is more to do with her moods. I feel like she really didn't know how to speak to anybody. She probably never really had the chance in her generation to do that. And if she did, it was one of these things you just don't talk about. And that's how she feels to me, if you can understand this with her. I know that she's talking to me here. I don't know if you understand where there would have been a situation where there would have been, what did she say? She was talking about a hemorrhage or something like that. I don't know if you understand this. But there would have been something that would have stopped her as well having more kids, and I don't know what that is, but this is the way that it's coming across. And again, I'm trying to do this as sensitively as I can. I'm neurodiverse and I'm saying it as I get it. If I mix it up a little, my apologies, but I know the information will be correct. All right. I know that as she's coming forward here and she's speaking about this, there's something to do with what would have halted her. And this lady really liked to be in control. This side of life, she didn't not like not being in control of things. But when we actually look at her with quite a compassionate view, we understand her pain. And she says to me that I need to say to you that you understand this, my dear. And she says that you understand her in a lot of ways. And I want to say there was not many in the outside of her family that she would connect to like that, but she did connect to you like this. So although she feels like mum, she has to be, oh, you just said mother-in-law. Sorry, I was going to say, although she feels like mum, there is a part of her where it's almost like I want to take you in and I want to love you like mine, but she has this wall, this barrier, a total love thing, and for her, this is the part of her where she wishes she would have got out of her own way with that. Is how she makes me feel. Now, she keeps mentioning the name Sarah to me and also Williams. I don't know if it's Sarah Williams, or would you understand that name that she's given me? Because I know that she's given me a couple of times there, but the Williams part come on at the end, if you understand that. Is that the correct name, Carolyn? I don't know, but I know that when she's given me this here as well, that she's talking here as well to me about where this lady must have had a love of maps. Do you understand the maps? That she just gave me there. I can't even remember what I just said to you. Not the name. Okay, we'll park the name aside because it's possibly someone that she's mentioning that will come to you later on. But there's something to do with the maps that she's talking about as well here, okay? And there would have been a room in her house, the darker room with the globe thing in it there as well that she's mentioning too. All right. She's talking about here where there would have been things left behind. There's a gentleman's things that would have been left behind that she held quite dear to her as well. Not the maps, it's what she's showing. Is it an atlas maybe? Or it's something, there's a globe and there's something to do with that she's just brought in. It's like old as well. Okay, so I don't know if there's something there that you could maybe, there's something to do with a map, to do with like like we'll get the AA ones and things and you open up or things, but this is old that she's mentioning, okay, or what she's showing me. I'm just asking her to show me it more clear, but that's the way that's coming in. That I don't know if she's just using it the way that I would understand that. I know too, when I want to, she's, oh my goodness, she's talking about whoever it was that put the wrong fuel in the car, putting the diesel in or something to do with that, but or almost putting the wrong fuel in the car. And I feel like she's talking about this was almost like, okay, I know that she's talking about this was almost quite a big thing, could have been a big expense as well, for that to happen. But she says the mind is wandering everywhere. Again, I don't know if this is yourself or whoever this is that she's relating to, but you must know about that, because it's almost like I'm at the petrol station and I'm almost putting the wrong petrol in my car, or the wrong fuel in my car here, and I've had to kind of change the nozzles. But I feel that she's came forward as well, because it's like, for every part of this lady that would have been quite difficult to deal with when she was this side, right now, this is the lady that we must be looking for within the family or the situation to be able to come in and pull somebody's socks up and give a wee word in their ear as well, okay? She does thank you though for being able to understand her in ways, even though she says it was the unspoken word. So it was like the two of you had connected in some way that way. Oh, God bless her. Okay, this is what she's mentioning there. So maybe therefore she did come in with a thank you there, but it was understanding her as well. She never gave me that part, so I can't remember things as I've said them. She's given that in there. God bless her. What did I want to say? I feel as if as well though that before I leave you there too, there's a Katie name as well. Katie, I'm sure she said to me, and I know that she's just making reference to that. Now I feel it as well with this lady that she says on her passing, it was almost like all her harsh features softened up. They all softened up, and it was like when you looked at her when she had passed, it was like you knew that she'd been lifted from a lot of heavy burdens that was on her. And if you know it that way, okay. She's really glad that she got to speak to you today as well, and I know that she wants to speak about the May birthday too. All right. She's just making reference to that there too. And I hope you took a set of her earrings because it's really important that you get something, she said, because she says you're worth your weight in gold. So I hope you got something. I'm going to say thank you, Carolyn, for letting me work with you there. It was just such a different type of message for me to give there. And I will keep her daughter in my prayers as well as yourself there for strength and courage going through these difficult times, you know. I think it's one of those really lonely things that people have to go through, especially as a carer. And it's never seen. It's usually the person that's going through it that's seen more. So God bless you for doing that job. Okay, May's our son's birthday. Okay. Thank you, Carolyn. I hope that was all right for you. All right. And again, I will be sending healing in your direction. If you're coming in on the name Facebook user, I am like, I don't even know how to connect there, and there might be more than one, and then I could mix them up. So if you please go and try to, oh, what does this say? I'm going to StreamYard.com, Facebook, allow permissions for your name to be displayed for myself, because it could be more than one, and then I think I'm speaking to somebody and I'm not. So if you just come in with a name, that's all right with me. So again, thank you so much for joining us, everyone, on StreamYard. It is a total honour to be here and be able to connect with your loved ones. It really is, every single time that they choose me to be able to connect with you. You can go to my Facebook page, that is Kirsty McGregor-Burns Spiritual Medium and Mentor, or on Instagram with the same name. A wee follow, like, a wee share, a wee comment, review, anything that you feel that you would like to, or just for interaction, and enjoy some posts. That would be absolutely lovely. And also don't forget to support FindMeAMedium on these live readings. So let me see. What else do we have? What else do we have? Okay. All right. Tracy Hand, can I work with you, please? Again, everyone, if you want a reading, just come in with the love hearts and or just a comment or a hi or a something. That when I'm reading for someone, and it's just that person I'll connect to in that moment, okay? So as soon as I wrap that up, just start doing that with all your love hearts and things, whatever you want to send. I love the emojis to see how creative you get. You know, it doesn't need to be a heart. Take one that resonates with you and put it in. So Tracy, if it's okay to work with you, please. I felt a gentleman step forward there from Spirit, and I know as this gentleman steps forward, he is not he's not that old, this man that I have stepping forward. I know that he makes me feel like he is now. I'm 5'3.5", and I feel like this gentleman would be, I don't think he's quite 6 foot, but I know that he's quite taller than me, and I would say he's tall. I know that he has, I'm asking him to tell me, I don't know if it's 5'11", it's 5'11", I don't know. I don't know he's got dark hair as well, and I know it's quite straight. I know there would have been a kind of small fleck of it changing as well through it, you know. He says it keeps him interesting, this wee fleck coming through his hair here, okay? I know that he's smartened himself up this side of life. He told me he had to smarten himself up as well. And I know that he says for his girls, if that makes sense to you. All right. So again, just a yes, no, and don't know if you understand any of this information. I know as this gentleman comes forward here as well, I'm not saying it's his name, but they give me names and I have to hand them over because there was once I never done that. And it was like a letter and it could have been wrapped up with the lady's name from her mum in a church service. So I'm just going to go with the way this is. But I know that he mentioned the name Robert being significant there. Okay. And he gave me the full name Robert. He's not even shortening that. All right. Now, I know this gentleman that comes forward too would have been known by different names himself. I don't know if it's variations of his name, but I feel almost like he had it's like a nickname of sorts as well, if you understand that too. But people would call it. I'm asking him what it was. I didn't know if it was like Hank, Kank, something like this, like that kind of name. But I feel like he would have had like a nickname. And I'm just asking him to keep speaking to me. But he's telling me this is all mumbo jumbo, all of this. So he really wasn't interested in this kind of thing, all right? But I feel that if there was somebody to talk to and if there was somebody he could get a blether with, a chat with, then he would speak to them anyway, you know. But it feels to me, I don't know how long he is in the world of spirit, but it feels to me like he's kind of navigating his way there. So he can't be there like incredibly long time, if that makes sense. I also feel with this gentleman that he would have been known by quite a number of people, but not he wouldn't have associated with quite a number, even though they knew him. But he says they knew him for what he did rather than known him for who he is, if that makes sense. In some respect. Sometimes I just say things here and I don't even really know what I'm speaking about. I just give it as I get it. So I hope that makes sense, Tracy. That's actually strange. I'm thinking about something here. Do you know? I'll tell you after if I remember. But I know when this gentleman he's coming forward here that there would have been something where he's talking about missing a birth as well. But I feel as if he missed like a birth, a baby that was on its way. But it's almost like this baby was actively being born in the sense of this is when he missed that birth. If that makes sense in some manner that he's speaking of here. But it's almost like I've got the lady giving birth and he's missed that. So would that make sense to you as well? I know as well that he wants to speak to me here about somebody's name that a girl, a boy's name, he said to me there as well. Giving her a boy's name, if that makes sense too. I know as well that I want to work with him here. He's saying to me that he's talking about not sure the birth. Okay, he's talking about the birth that he would have missed. Would you understand where he's talking about Derek as well? The Derek connection that he wants to say. And he's almost like this gentleman too is kind of saying to me about Derek. If I was to say to you too that he's saying whoever it was that was in your home recently that it totally disrespected you and saying don't let them step back over your doorstep ever again, like don't. And he's letting me know if he was here they wouldn't have been able to step the doorstep the way out, and that's how he's kind of given that to me there. But this isn't don't tolerate any of that from anyone kind of thing that he's given me here. I know too that when I want to, he's okay, all right. He wants to, he's just went all soft there on me as well. It takes me into the month of February. I'm kind of jumping with this, how this gentleman feels for you here, the connection with him. All right. Okay. And I know that, all right. Oh, you shouldn't have told me. Just yes, no, no, please. Because I'm waiting on him telling me you're making this easier as well. But I know, well, I didn't really know the connection, right? And in all honesty, I would have said to you, there's a fatherly feel with him. However, I was struggling with connecting him as a father as such, is how he gave that to me. There was a disconnect there, so it couldn't have been yours. But I know also with this man too, there is a kind of where you must have known him at the same time, all right? Because I know he's coming in here as a kind of protective nature, a kind of protective factor as well, all right? I want to say as well, if it's for your sister, can you say that or pass on? He says that she's put up with more than she thought she was even able or capable of, but she is more, and it's just kind of maybe you can help bring back that fighting spirit that she needs to have as well. I feel like this gentleman would have just like totally been in there and dealt with the whole situation at the same time, okay? Now, when I said he was softening up there, he's taken me, and I want to connect with yourself there, but he's taken me to the month of February as well. And he said the 11th, but I don't know if it's the 11th of February or the 11th of a month, if you understand that, okay? And I know when he's saying that to me here as well, that he's sending an awful lot of love into the month of February for whatever this is too, okay? But it's really important that we notice, like you as well, regardless of the attention being on everyone else, if that makes sense, okay? But he knows you're there too, okay? I know sometimes you must have had late night chats that he's mentioning, because he did say to me, I have to thank you for that, the late night chats, and he really appreciated that, that gave him space and time to think, and if anything, you would be a sounding board for him, and he really appreciated that there as well, okay? Now, when I'm working with him, Tracy, there is not a lot of people that he would have used as a sounding board, and I'm saying not a lot as in, he just says 5. There's 5 people in his life that he would have spoken to. You're one of them, all right? And I feel like out of those 5 people, they would all get different versions, but with you, he could just be himself, and that is important that he mentions that as well, okay? Whoever it was that get the wee cat, he says, I like a new cat. And he's having a laugh because he's going, with that furniture, good luck. So I don't know what he's talking about here with the cat and the furniture thing that he's mentioning. But we know it can be a wee bit crazy because I'm a cat lover myself, but we don't have a wee cat at the moment. So, aye, and that's how he came forward there. All right, yes to the cat. Oh, hope it's not a sphinx. That's where I'll be jealous. That's what I'm wanting. He'll probably be telling me off for that in a minute because there's no hair on them. But yeah, no, that I think they just came forward there just to say that we're noticing you as well, that he notices you as well, and just a thank you. So thank you very much for letting me work with you, Tracy. I hope that all makes sense to you there as well. Okay. So again, thank you so much to everybody that's joining in, everybody that's here. It is absolutely lovely to have you here. If you're coming in as Facebook user, please go on to StreamYard to be able to come in with your own name. You'll need to change your settings because there's no point in me trying to read someone when the other people might have the same name, and I don't know, it's never happened, so don't know. Okay, let's see who else we've got. Oh, lovely, Tracy. Thank you so much. It's really nice, as a medium, it's a whole other thing to be and do with this. I just love working with spirit. I love the opportunity to work with spirit, but when I'm able to connect with someone on such a level that provides a bit of clarification or healing in their life, with a bit of definite precision in that as well, I think that's important that you get that, So if that helps you in your journey, then awesome. And that's why I continue doing what I'm doing. So it is lovely to have you all here. So who have we got? Start putting in all the wee emojis up the side, and I will say to you, you can follow me on social media on Facebook or Instagram as Kirsty McGregor-Burns, spiritual medium and mentor, and it would be ace to connect with you there as well. My photographs there do look a little different, but I've been cleaning the house and I was doing my cold water shower and I'm looking a wee bit patchy red at the moment due to that. But I'm here, I'm clean and I'm here and I'm dressed. So thank you so much for being here with us. I'm just a real person and I turn up and I do my thing. So who have we got? Okay. Debbie Hearn, can I work with you, please? And again, if I don't pronounce names properly, apologies. And of course, I don't know who's behind the screen. I think some of you don't even have like a picture. Oh, we've got lovely doggies in this one. Beautiful. Mine is over there. So he is with his fresh hoovered bed. So, hi Debbie, if it's okay to work with you here, I had a lovely lady that stepped forward there for you. Now, I don't know if this is your gran or this lady's just phenomenal as she came in there. But I know as she comes in like laughing and giggling, all right, she's quite a cheery lady. And I know as she came in there as well, she would say that you and her would have had some really good belly laughs, like good laughs about things. I think you share a sense of humour together too, okay? Um, I feel like this lady, there would be a bit of kind of connection with both of you that she's saying to me. It's almost like a Megan you on going, you get it, go you do it for me, that kind of thing, you know. And it's like that kind of laugh, but having that soft spot for her as well. That she's mentioning that you'd have had that soft spot for her. Now she's not your gran, she feels like a gran type lady to me. She hasn't told me that, but I would absolutely adopt her as my gran if she was here, like in physical. Do you understand this lady, Debbie? It's almost like she wasn't allowed sweets or something, and I'm asking you to go and get me a wee bag of sweets. All right, go get me a wee bag of sweets. All right. And I know that she's taking me like a kind of hard green, solid sweet. I don't know where you are. That reminds me of like a sour plum that we've got them here, and that's kind of what they look like. But she's asking me to ask you go and get them, but it's in the white paper bag. It's not just the any type of bag. All right, kind of thing. But I know too that where you must have been where you were coming for a visitor or whatever because she plans for these visits, all right. And I know that she really looks forward to seeing you as well. But she said always a Tuesday, always a Tuesday. So I don't know if you understand meeting with her on the Tuesday or connecting with her on a Tuesday in particular, okay? And I feel like she would say like setting herself aside time as well on a Friday, and that's when she paid her bills. She has. I've just seen spirit there this side of me. That was strange. But I know that strange as if it's strange, but because I wasn't expecting it. I know as well, but when I'm working with this lady, she's talking about setting bills aside and paying them on a Friday. All right, that's a day she gets things sorted, okay? Okay, all right. Okay. So remember, it's Debbie Hearn I'm working with. Okay. I am saying to you here as well, Debbie, as I'm working with you too. That is, she's saying to me. So if you remember the days, okay, that I'm talking about in particular, that's kind of thrown me a wee bit there. But I know as this lady, let me just get my head back in the zone again. I know with this lady as well that she's saying to me here, she wouldn't have been a lady that wore any makeup. I don't feel like she was a lady that wore makeup, but I do feel she's got beautiful skin. I do feel she's very clear skin, and I do feel as though you would often see that kind of little peach fuzz on her face as well. And she has this kind of scent about her. It's like a very gentle musk smell as well, like a perfume. It's a very gentle musk smell. And I know with this lady too, she quite likes a cardigan over her shoulders. But I know too that sometimes she would wear it, sometimes it's over her shoulders. But she said to me, sometimes she'd be wearing one and she would have one over her shoulders at the same time. All right. I know this lady, as she's telling me this, is talking about circulation issues, having things wrong with her circulation. I know that she brings me as well, in particular, to her legs. Now, I know with their legs that she tells me about the skin going really thin. I know she tells me about bumping against things. I know that her legs were looking kind of bruised in some way, but she's kind of giggling about where you would have got a fright at this. And that you maybe thought something really terrible had happened to her. She's going, I don't even know what happened to me. She's just walking into things and I don't even remember doing it. And that's the way that she gave that to me there. Okay. I know as well she wants to mention the name John as well in spirit with her, but I feel I want to bring it. She's talked that there's a John here as well, connecting with both as well. Does that make sense? I know when she's taking me to the gentleman that's with her in the world, the spirit, I don't know if that's husband and wife. They feel rather connected. And it's that whole. They're very respectful. I would say that they're very respectful towards each other. I've got to give her that. But they kind of both know which place that they play as well in life, that kind of thing. Now, as I was sitting here as well, I was so aware. Like when I was here, there was a gentleman's. Oh, John was the uncle. All right, there was a gentleman's shoulder and head that had just came in here at the side of me earlier, and I know that when he's coming in here, he's saying. I need to say that he's rubbing shoulders with her. Do you understand this? If I was to say rubbing shoulders with you, so I don't know if you've had that sensation of somebody being next to you or sitting right next to you, and I mean like right next to you, but he's talking about rubbing shoulders with you. If that makes sense to you. Sometimes when I'm doing this working, when I'm needing that kind of instant, so it's a wee bit difficult on here for me. I am needing get your ego in check. Just sit there and just let it happen. So what I'm saying is I do feel like there was a gentleman right here. Okay. Now I would usually feel a female connection here. So I know he connects in with this lady's side as well, if that makes sense. Okay. But I also feel there would have been a gentleman that went to the world of spirit that would have had a cancerous condition at a younger age too, and he would have lost his hair with that. Do you understand this? Rubbing shoulders with you, so maybe he's rubbing your shoulder too. I don't know. But I don't know why I just want to bring in this male to be able to say this, that he would have lost his hair, and she's saying he went too young, you know. Is what she said to me. Okay. Oh, and she's saying about battling for like an 8-month period as well. There would have been an 8-month period. Now there has to be if you said a few, there has to be a gentleman that would have been a bit young to have passed into the spirit world with cancer. So it's not just anyone, it's like someone that's younger, male in particular. Okay. There's something to do with where there would have been there's a lung condition in one side, and I know it's spreading up, and I'm going up here into my head as well that she's mentioning. Okay. And they would have got really poorly before they passed as well, that she's letting me know, because I feel this lady's such a nurturer. She's just like, come and I'll look after you, and bringing them in, and she's kind of the one that's looking after them in the world of spirit too. Okay. Angles. I don't know what she's saying to me here. Angleston or something like that. I don't know if you understand that. Angleston or something. I don't know if that's a name or something that she just mentioned there to me too. Okay. I'm going to say as well, just before I leave you, that this lady, as she comes forward, has so much love. She brings a lot of love in, and she has enough love to fill the world and everyone here. And she's such a good soul. She really, really is as well. I know part of her as well, those telling you are kind of saying to you, Debbie, get out of your own way at the moment, all right? And things can be better, as she said to me there as well, if you understand that too. So I am going to wrap that up and say thank you so much for letting me work with you. And please take this lovely lady's love That's awesome, and thank you for your trust. So again, thank you everyone for being here. I could have been pronouncing that wrong there, Debbie. I don't even know what that is. I felt like I wanted to talk about like a place, or the only one I would know was like, is it Anglesey? Is that Wales or something? I don't know, but that was the way that came through to me there. So put all your wee emojis in and we will see where we are going next. Um, See the other Debbie Linda. Can I maybe just have a wee word at the moment? Please remember, folks, that you can follow me on Instagram and Facebook. Kirsty McGregor-Burns, spiritual medium and mentor. I also run an online spiritual mission that is Port Glasgow and Linwood Spiritual Mission Online Services. It has a private Facebook page, and you are free to join that, and you can join the services at 7:30. Sorry, that's a lie. It's at 7 o'clock every Thursday. Next week it's off, but the following week onwards it'll be on. But it's on Facebook, Port Glasgow and Linwood Spiritual Mission. Debbie, okay, can I check in with you then? Do you understand the young male? Because I might have crossed that over. That young male, it would have passed with a cancerous condition, would have lost his hair as well. Just because I was like, you had jumped in it earlier, and sometimes links can get a wee bit so difficult on here when you're like waiting on the names coming up. It's what a job to do. Okay. So it was John. Was he the gentleman that worked with horses or had a horse or something to do with the horses as well? Because I know that I'm getting a connection in there with that. It's like a big brown horse as well. Oh, God love him, 57. I must have crossed that over there with trying to look at the two of them. But spirit, I mean, sometimes I'll work with somebody's connection. That even happens in church services as well. I work with one person and then they start bringing everybody. It's like as if one of them sometimes takes charge of bringing the rest in for everybody else. So, we'll see where we go. Okay. Right, okay. So I don't know, Debbie, again, if you understand that he would have worked with horses or no, it's not that. It's not Betfred at all. It's to do, there's a horse, or he would have, either he had one and he looked after one, or there's something to do with this brown horse in particular. Would you understand where there would have been a horse named after him, or the name was similar to him in some way, or he named it, something to do with that? So I'm just going with a couple of pieces of information here, so we can go back into kind of running a bit faster, because I'm only here for an hour and I want to try and do as much as I can. You're not sure. Okay, Debbie, would you understand if the gentleman that you're thinking that I'm speaking about, he's talking about in spirit with a lady called Betty, or Bets, or Betty, or Betsy, or something, like Bet? He's actually having a laugh about her name, like because you said Betfred as well. Right, okay. And he's also want to speak about a lady with the name Anne Marie too. Okay. I feel that's a friendship link. We talk about friendship link, so I don't know if that's a friend around. I know as well that he's telling me about her being a great support. There's a great support there for you, okay? And he'd also said to me that, okay, that you really, really, you it's like almost like I want to say you really, really need that support at the moment. And he says you're spending a bit too much time on your own, that you're pulling yourself back from everyone at this moment in time. It's kind of like you're kind of isolating yourself a wee bit, okay? But he's wanting to kind of connect you back in there. With people again. And he said that at one time he's like, you absolutely loved people, you love being around them. Where can we make that better? Where can we make that better? Have you just started swimming as well, or going back swimming? He's talking about you going swimming, something to do with that. So if that makes sense to you there as well. Yeah, Debbie. Because this is what he's mentioning there, okay? Because he's like, well, will you get yourself, if you could get yourself back to swimming again, all right? Don't know if you kind of picked that up at one point and you only went like once or twice and then you stopped again as well. But you must go and then kind of stop and go again. But he's kind of saying that, well, I had a good social thing around it for you there as well, okay? And I'm going to say thank you for letting me connect with this lovely man, and for yourself as well. He just he's talking about Tom. He's met Tom in spirit there too. He's a friend of his, and I want to say to you there too that he's not. It's an uncle. He said an uncle. He's corrected me, and I know that he's saying here to me that I need to tell you. Did you find rosary beads? And if you did, he said that they're grands or something like this. In case you're wondering who they belong to, and that's what he's saying to me. So that would be a kind of symbolic nature of, that he's hearing you, he's around, and keep your faith strong. All right. So thank you, Debbie, for letting me speak to you. So I think I have another couple of minutes to do something quite quick, if you're all right with that. Nolene, can I quickly work with you, please, just before this ends? And I'm just going to go with it. So please just put the yes, no, and don't know. You're so welcome. Remember, you can follow me on social media at Kirsty McGregor-Burns, spiritual medium and mentor, on Instagram and on Facebook. All right. Nolene, would you understand this amazing gentleman that stepped forward there that actually wants to like grab you and dance with you? That kind of feeling, all right? I feel like he does some fancy footwork because when he's dancing there as well. And I know that he taps his toe, like when he's dancing, he loves the beat of music. He absolutely loves the sound of that, okay? He's glad to see that you've got your dancing shoes back on, that you've been dancing again, all right? And I feel as if it's like about the house or doing something in the house. You're playing more music, and this is how he's connecting with you in that, in this sense. Pardon me, in this sense as well. I know that he's saying to me here, he's letting me know too that within my chest area there's something going on with him, that they've been in the chest area, because he made me feel like there was pain, but I feel it came from lower down and then it would come up, and sometimes take the breath from him at that. And he tells me they looked in the wrong areas. So whatever that was with him, before he's went into spirit or the illness, they looked in the wrong areas as well. But there's part of where there would have been like he's talking about like a treatment, and he's saying here that it made it worse. It made it worse, he says to me. So you would have seen like there's some form of where he kind of goes, it's like the progression of illness is taken over due to treatment, he says to me. But the feeling in his chest just feels very, it's almost like when I had kind of went, excuse me, it was like a wind and it had come up and it just gave me that pain in there, you know, but he lets me know that whatever this was, it would have been there. It was there, and it went, that kind of feeling. But I want to say thank you to you, because you stood your corner, you stood your ground, and you spoke up for him where it needed to be spoken. And he says to this day that there's something that you're still kind of fighting about or speaking about. There's something that you're still fighting for justice or for him or something. Does that make sense, Nolene? And it's almost my time to go here, and there's someone else coming on, but he loves you with all his heart, and he knows you love him, he loves you, and it's absolutely like, it's like love doesn't save us, it keeps us together. We're always together. And that's the way that he said that to me then as well. Okay. He loves your hair, and he always loved your hair, he says to me. I know that he's kind of glossing it down there as well. All right. He's telling you you're beautiful. Okay. Nolene, I hope that makes sense. I'm going to say thank you so much to everyone. I know there's someone just waiting to come on. It's been really incredible to work with you all, some really lovely connections. And if anything, I really hope they help you move on in life, and provide you some upliftment or healing in some way along in your grieving journey. Again, you can follow me on social media on Kirsty McGregor-Burns, spiritual medium and mentor, via Facebook or Instagram, and also the Spiritual Mission online on a Thursday is Port Glasgow and Linwood Spiritual Mission online services. It has been incredible. Thank you so much for your love, your time, and your kindness. See you all later. Bye bye. I am still here.